a rock in a financial hard place, that's not right.
All right. Hey.
Hey, I just talked to the ladies in there. They said that they are not going to let you in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Vince is making a real effort.
They're not letting the Channel 16 news crew in or anybody that's not invited.
Really?
So
Yeah,
That's
go right ahead.
fairly appalling.
Already
16 is
impressed me.
waiting for you.
But you can go in there, and there's two ladies at the desk who are very cordial, and they will listen to any statements you have and
then
will
tell
take
you
your
that-
information and keep you in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna
And
go
I
talk
think
to them.
everyone
Go,
should do that.
go
Okay.
right in and see if
Do
they'll
we
let
know
you in.
if Ralph Kisberg is in?
Ralph is
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
he's in the meeting.
Okay, because he's going to instruct us about the goings-on of the meeting, even if we can't go in. All right.
If you need any help, just whisper. We have our buddies.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back. You guys just hang out for a minute. I'll be right back.
Speaking.
See what I
They
get.
can go in with you.
Oh, even better. Just come with me.
Right, yeah, and I really can't stay on the phone here, so I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Thank you.
This is my philosophy of ecology class, and particularly Vince, who's a member of my class, has actually worked just tirelessly to get us permission to sit quietly in the meeting for instructive purposes about decision making in the state of Pennsylvania with respect to really important decisions about drilling in state forests.
Yeah.
I brought my class.
And what's the opening? Kind of a
I'm not
response?
sure.
I'm sorry?
Is that a response from them?
No, this was, I tried to get as much information for the class as we could. Basically, they're telling us the meeting's already started,
Right.
so.
Right. They did know that we were going to have to be just a little bit late just because of my teaching schedule at the university. But part of my aim in bringing my class is that this is very instructive with respect to the way our democracy functions in the United States and in Pennsylvania in particular. It's my view, especially as my understanding has actually been considerably improved by my student Vince, that they in fact have a quorum in this meeting with respect to number of representatives present. My understanding is that 3 elected representatives at whatever level of state government, so these could be council members, could be county representatives.
3 county commissioners?
Right. That if you have 3 or more, you have a quorum. And according to the state sunshine laws, what this means is that it's supposed to be open to the public. Right? That's been my understanding.
I looked at it today just to back
Okay,
it
so-
up. And so
okay.
if there's a conference being had,
Okay.
where yes, you do have elected officials, but at the same time you're not agreeing or disagreeing on anything,
Yeah.
you're merely talking.
Yeah.
That is not open.
You know,
to
my
sunshine.
aims here are pedagogical. I'm otherwise involved in the anti-fracking movement, but my aims here are pedagogical aims. I want my students to see what the importance is, the important relationships between the state laws, the DCNR, right, what those relationships are between state agencies, decision making in what is supposed to be a democracy about state lands. Right? These are state lands, so these are people who pay taxes that go to support these lands. And so it actually seems to me that we should at least, at minimal, be permitted to be a witness to the decision-making process. At least we should be able to see it. Right? That's not to say that we were planning on interrupting. This is not a protest. Right? But we should at least be able to witness the decision-making as it goes on, because these are our lands too.
So you're planning to go in and...
We're going to go in and ask. We're going to go in and ask.
All right. We'll be the fly on the wall. All right.
Guys, if you want, I like to walk reference.
Yeah.
These are samples on the list. State park. I have some more information, but I don't have a copy for everybody. Anybody else?
That's it. That's it. He is in my philosophy of ecology class. He's been trying to work it out for the last week, ever since we saw the announcement at the meeting, to arrange for us to simply watch the meeting. It's an environmental philosophy class. My aims are to instruct my students in the relationship between state law, the DCNR as a state agency, and decisions made particularly on state lands, because these are lands that we pay taxes. This is a vitally important decision in the state of Pennsylvania because it involves drilling by way, it involves unconventional drilling on state lands. And so my hope was, and it was what Vince was, he worked tirelessly this week, just tirelessly, to find a way to get us so that we could simply just watch, that our principal aim just would like to watch.
And I think I talked to Vincent, and I know he did contact us, and we did tell him we would not be able to accommodate the students going into the meeting. But we will have DCNR, and I work for DCNR, I'm Kristen back. Nice to meet you. And you're a professor, did I hear you say?
Right, I'm a philosophy professor at DU.
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate them being here today, and we're happy to talk to them and answer any questions after the meeting.
All right.
We do have the secretary here and our state forester, some of our, geologists, some of our other folks. So we'd be happy to answer your questions. We do have a fact sheet that has some basic background information about it that's specific to the clearance lands.
There are lots.
So it's a good,
Yeah.
solid starting point of information. This is a complicated situation. It is a little different than most of the
Well,
other
my
areas in our
understanding,
state forest system.
Anadarko, I know, does own,
They own 50% of the subsurface
right, the subsurface rights, the mineral
Oh,
rights.
sorry, I was telling you I was talking to you about that lie under, it's about 25,000 acres.
Right,
The
yeah, I read
forest
that.
in total is about 114,000 acres, Loyalsock State Forest.
Mhm.
So Anadarko is a 50% owner. We believe the other 50% is under lease to Southwest. There are 25,000 acres.
We have one.
There's a division between 18,000 acres where the court decision said the surface rights of Clarence Moore, which is why these are named Clarence Moore lands, expired. And then there are another 7,000 acres where that does not apply.
And that is complicated.
It is
on its
complicated,
face.
yeah. And so there are legal disagreements about the degree of control we have related to that Clarence Moore decision. And that's what brings us to the situation that we're in. We have other areas of the state forest where we don't own the surface rights, and we have to provide reasonable access under the law, some legal decisions that were made in the state Supreme Court. And when we're in that situation, we do try to talk with companies about the best way to protect their resource. You're correct that, as land managers, we are paid by the taxpayers. These are all of your state forest lands. It's our job to manage them. They have different values and uses to different people. Inherently they are habitat and, they're beautiful. They have recreational value because people hike and fish and hunt. And we also allow timbering and mineral extraction as a use of the forest, and that was in our enabling legislation. So we have to try to balance all those different responsibilities. And that's why we're here today. I apologize that you can't get in. We're trying to have a smaller meeting so that we could allow people to have a meaningful conversation back and forth. I understand you only want to observe. We're about capacity really for our room that we have here today. So I would encourage you, Vincent asked that we provide the list of people who attended in case you want to contact them in the future for their impressions. They'll be walking out.
And Senator Everett.
Yes, we have a number of legislators here. They're the local legislators. We also have some that represent the Environmental Resources Committee, the majority and minority chair. So I think we have 6 legislators in the room. And as people exit, if they're willing to talk to you, you're willing to do it that way also, we will certainly make our staff
It's lovely
available.
outside.
Yeah.
So.
There are bathrooms here if you need to use the restrooms,
Yeah, I've actually spent
This is
some
a great
time in this
building,
building.
yeah.
I've gone to a number of other meetings
Yeah.
here, educational meetings here. How long did you say?
We're going to be done at 2:30. I think we are really going to pretty much stick to the schedule.
Okay.
So.
All right.
We, some of us will be doing a little media availability for reporters afterwards.
Right.
But then we would, we'll still be around and can talk, or you can certainly feel free to, you have a card in here, I think, contact me if you have any follow-up
Okay, that
questions.
would be great.
We'd be happy to talk with you. That's not my card.
Thank you.
There's
Thank you.
two.
Christina.
Okay, yep.
Bridget
All right,
Parsons,
thanks for
yeah.
coming today. Yeah.
right, well, we'll just wait outside until people begin to file.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, it is important for young people to understand,
Yes.
you know, sort of the way these issues are dealt with, and so.
Yeah, I saw this as actually just
welcome your-
an excellent opportunity.
Yes, and
We're
you're right.
talking a lot about, and we talked a lot in class about local issues.
Right.
I often teach the class around local issues so that I can actually take them and things and show them.
All right, thanks.
All right, so we file out and
All right.
just wait.